Hello and welcome, everyone. This is Jesse Gilmore, and welcome to Money Mindset Foundations Part 3. Now, if you've been following me this week, I've been doing a deep dive into cash flow quadrants, getting into understand a little bit more about some foundational concepts when it comes to your mindset and money and how they're related, and some of the learnings that I've gone through over the last few years working with marketing agency owners to really help them develop the core beliefs, the disciplines, and the systems in order for them to scale from six figures to seven figures. Now, this is an internal journey that every single agency owner has to go through, where they're letting go of parts of their previous self in order for them to embrace a new version. Because ultimately, we all know and that in the pattern of growth, it kind of grows like this, and then there's a pattern, and whether or not you learn the lesson, you might go back down or it might go back up. And it really depends on how you show up in the world to your team, to your market, to really lead from a place of power and uncertainty. Now, looking at the previous parts, we built a little bit more information about cash flow quadrants. If you haven't looked at that before, let me actually just do a quick recap of this. So let me share my screen here. Awesome. So in the first video, part one was really based around these cash flow quadrants. A lot of our agency owners are going from self-employed, where they basically own a job as they kind of want to grow. It just means that they're increasing their hours or their rates in order for them to increase their money, where they're really transitioning into this business owner where you own a business. You don't really exchange time for money or relying on others to run the business for you. And ultimately, this transition comes down to two things. It's really based around people and systems. You build a system and then you employ the right people, put them in the right seats, train them, hire them, manage them, to run the system that you create. Now, this is usually where people get stuck, which is why we created Leverage for Growth to help with that transition. Now, yesterday, we talked a little bit about cash flow formulas. A lot of times people look at this from a place of as you move into business ownership, does that mean that you're just taking less money and so forth? And yesterday, we talked a little bit about the typical accounting formula and then another way of looking at it where you're actually taking profit first or your owner's draw or deciding on how much money you're actually going to make before actually creating goals or starting to move on it. And what this does is it actually makes it so that the expenses are the variable as opposed to your profit that you're taking. Pretty cool. Now, this is actually going to be the goal setting formula that we're going to talk about. And if you're watching this right now and it's before 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today, I would love to have you join us in the goal setting workshop that we have. You can go to nicheandcontrol.com/next live event to see what the next upcoming event is. But later on today, I'm going to be walking agency owners through a process. And that process is something that I've been doing over the last 4, maybe 5 years now. And ultimately, it's this understanding of the difference between the be, do, have model versus the typical goal setting where it's have, do, be. Now, let me explain what majority of people do when it comes to goal setting, and then I'll explain why there's a better model. So most people will go through goal setting and they'll go, okay, I am an agency owner. I want to, have a seven-figure agency. I want to have $1 million, right? And so that's the have, whatever that end result is. If you're looking at a relationship, I really want to have a really powerful marriage, right? If you're looking at the body, and you're going to find this with like majority of people that create New Year's resolutions in January, that by February, mid-February, all the gyms that were packed in January are now empty. It's because they're following this same kind of goal setting where they're going, I want to lose weight and gain muscle mass, right? And what do I got to do? Okay, I got to go on a diet and I'm going to go to the gym. And that's the thing. And what ends up happening is they're not really focusing on who you are being, what's the habits, what's the kind of operating system by which you operate. What's going on in your thinking and your mental models, and how are you viewing it? And this is ultimately where people fall flat. And this is the typical goal setting formula that people always have, do, be. And you're going to see it over and over and over and over and over and over again. Now, there is another way, and this is a way where you're more focused around, who do I have to be? So let's just say you want to have that seven-figure agency, right? I know in 2023, I want to have a seven-figure coaching and consulting business, right? And from that, you start by understanding what you kind of want, but ultimately you have to figure out exactly where you're starting from. Like, what are the habits that I have right now? And where am I kind of lacking? What is kind of holding me back from actually having that thing right now? A seven-figure agency might not necessarily just be getting new clients. It might be actually how you hold on to parts of your business without having the people or the systems in order for you to delegate, right? And so from this, you have to start understanding where you show up. How do you show up? And hopefully you can see my cursor because I keep on circling that. But the B part is really based around two different things. One of them being your normal habits. And then the second one is based around your mindset and how you look at things, right? And in order for you to do that, you have kind of like an understanding of where you are right now, right? And then where you want to be. And then from that, what do you need to become in order for you to have what you want? And from that, that drives the do. Now, a lot of people have like these to-do lists because they focus on this have, do, be. I want a seven-figure business. Here's what I got to do. Okay, I'm going to execute it. But you really haven't really changed the mindset and the habits. And you might have the habit for a period of time, but it's really based around motivation rather than inspiration. And so the be, do, have model allows you to understand that in order for you to achieve whatever you want, whether that's an awesome marriage, whether that's an awesome body, whether that is a connection to whatever you believe in, purpose, or a thriving business, it all comes back down to who you are. How do you show up, and who are you becoming in that process? Now, the be, do, have model is a transformational model of goal setting. I used this in 2018, and at that time I was working in corporate America, and I started to understand that the habits that I had developed in corporate America, the stress, the sedation, the understanding that I was not living to my fullest potential, and I ended up realizing that I have to get rid of. I was drinking mochas every single day, so I had sugar all the time. And that ultimately was fueling something that I didn't want, which is ultimately like heart disease and a whole bunch of other health issues. And so the B model, when I started to understand how this whole goal setting process works, in 2018, I got rid of sugars, like added sugars. I got rid of TV. We don't have a TV at all. I got rid of news, and I ran 30K. And then the next year, I got promoted as well. 2019, I did the same exact thing. So then I was going, okay, I wanted to take my family to Scotland. I want to get promoted, and I got promoted again. And I got the business that I was working in got acquired, and I started niche and control because I wanted to actually have more control over my life and what I wanted. I wanted to create financial independence. So that was my 2019 goal. 2020 happens, and my daughter comes in, is born actually at the time that the pandemic started. It's like exactly the same time. She's an April 1st, 2020 baby. And during my paternal leave, I realized that I wanted to get out of corporate America for good and not just have this business as a side. And so I did it again, where in that quarter, I created Leverage for Growth. Now, Leverage for Growth is literally the process of this transition that I'm talking about, based around self-employment to business ownership, based around people and systems. And we specifically work with six-figure agency owners, helping them get into seven figures by becoming something greater than they are right now. So from this, 2020, I basically culminated all this, like 15 years of being an entrepreneur, 5 years in corporate America. What did I learn throughout this entire time? And who am I becoming as I'm taking this transition? And from this, 2020, I ended up closing new clients, bringing in new clients, getting clients to go from 15,000 per month to 100,000 per month in 9 months, all based around this understanding that it comes from be, do, and then have. So inside out. And then in 2021, I really wanted to make it to where my wife could leave corporate America as well. So she ended up doing that. The month that she left, we had a $35,000 month. That was my first $35,000 month, and it also put a lot of certainty in there. And that was because of who I became. So during that period of time, I got into habits, I got into whatever was driving the business, and kind of moved it forward. And in 2022, this last year, I've been using this as well in all areas of my life. I ran 4 half marathon. Well, I have 2 half marathons and 2 full marathons. I lost 17 pounds. I've been alcohol free for a couple of years now, and being able to have these habits that allow me to know that success is inevitable. And what I am going to achieve in 2023 is really based around this understanding of capitalizing on these habits, being able to actually go through the same scenario and that I'm actually helping my clients with. And I'm going through that right now. I'm actually in the process of doing that with a coaching business as opposed to an agency business. Similar transitions and everything like that. But it's really that switch from being an advisor to a mentor, which I'm really excited about. And from this whole process, you have to understand that you have to become something different if you want different results. And so if you're watching this again and you watch it before what is it? In 2.5 hours. In 2.5 hours, we're going to be going live actually in an event for goal setting of 2023, really getting clear on who do you need to be in order for you to grow. And I'm super excited for it. So with that, I'll leave you with this.
Jesse's program is a personal trainer for your business, for your agency business. So if you're trying to start your own marketing agency, you need a trainer. You need a trainer, you need a plan, you need goals so that you can thrive. Get out of your own way and let someone help you to grow your business and scale it quickly and stop trying to do it yourself.
We're just continuing to scale and we're not freaking out.
Owning a business, especially a business that is doubling, is the best feeling in the world.
At Niche and Control, we unlock the potential within you and your agency. Through the development of you as a leader, you step forth to discover the potential you have always had. We help you with clarity of vision, strategy for coming from a place of competence, operational systems to develop consistent client results and retention, pricing and packaging to differentiate you from the rest of the market, and finding, developing, and managing the right team to support you in the realization of your vision. Stop playing small. Rise to your potential. Your time is now. Can you feel it?
I've gotten more time, more clarity, and more money.